Do you ever feel like you don't want as much sex as you used to? Or maybe you wish you could take your sex drive back to the levels of more carefree times or increasing it in general? Whatever the case, in this video I'll tell you what you need to know to start the journey to getting it back. Hi there and welcome to the Emjoy channel. My name is Anna and today we're gonna talk about how to increase your sex drive if it's lower than you'd like. Before we begin, let's do a little term definition, specifically for the words desire and arousal. And once that's clear, we can talk about what we mean when we say sex drive or libido. When we use the word desire, we're referring to an emotional thing, the wanting or not wanting to have sex. The word arousal, on the other hand, is about the physical response to desire, like lubrication or an increased heart rate. So what about sex drive, the thing we're actually discussing? Well, sex drive is more about how you generally respond to sexual stimuli, so whether you feel desire more or less often in your everyday life. So a person with a higher sex drive will feel desire more often than someone with a lower one. Now let's try an exercise. Take a couple of minutes, you can even pause this video if you need to, and make a list of the 5 things that are the most important in your life, of your biggest priorities. You don't even have to write them down, just think about them, come back and we'll talk. Ready? Okay then, take a look at your list and tell me, is desire in it? If it isn't, what spot do you think it sits in? Is it even in the top 10, the top 50, or the top 100 of your priorities? When we make a to-do list, we rarely include sex or desire in it because we think they should happen naturally, spontaneously, without even thinking about them. So here's the first thing you need to know. It is a myth that desire always has to be spontaneous and seemingly appear out of nowhere. When we first enter a relationship, we get used to feeling this overwhelming need for sex at the slightest provocation, and that makes us think that maybe that's the only acceptable or valid way of feeling desire, or maybe that it's even the only healthy one. But that's not the case. It is entirely normal to not feel spontaneous desire all the time for your entire life and in every stage of your relationship. There are numerous physical, mental, and emotional things that have an effect on how much desire we feel, and that's fine. Once we understand this, things become a lot easier because we let go of the guilt and the feeling that we're broken, which are not very sexy and actually get in the way of us getting in touch with our desire. So if you want to increase your desire, it's important to get rid of the guilt and start thinking about what works for you. Is there a particular fantasy that makes you weak in the knees? Or is it more of a situation, like having a great day at work or listening to your partner talk about a subject they're really passionate about? Think about the last few times that you really felt desire, figure out what they have in common, and try to emulate it. In case you need any help, the Emjoy app is full of sessions and exercises you can do to connect with what gets you going and identify what's getting in the way. Desire that happens intentionally is no less valid and no less exciting than the spontaneous, freshly into a relationship one, and there is nothing wrong with having to work to feel a little more of it. Nobody will naturally have limitless, instant desire. You are not alone and you are not weird or broken. You just have to actually think about it instead of just hoping it will show up. Before we leave, we have good news. The more you work on your desire and the more you feel it and satisfy it, the easier it will be to feel it again and again and again. There are many ways to work on increasing your desire, and luckily this is a subject we love at Emjoy. Download the app by clicking the link in the description and enjoy a 7-day free trial to start exploring different aspects of your sexuality with guided sessions and sexy stories. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more videos like this, and find us on social media for more on sex, self-love, and wellness. See you soon!